As you know, the Fed spoke and the market did not like it. And I'm going to tell you guys in this video where I think the market could possibly be headed and why I think the market will be headed there. Recently, I released a short form video on how this triple bottom was going to be broken and how this 384 target was most likely going to be hit. I did not expect to be this quick. Obviously, we still got $4 more to the downside. But honestly, if you look at futures, we're going to look at ES right now. There is a triple bottom that we're at right now. As you can see, there is 1, 2, 3, and it's wicking right here. So around three main points, and there's a lot of stops underneath this level. This is just how I trade. I trade based on big double, triple bottoms. They're most likely going to get ripped through to the bottom side to stop everyone out. So I think there is going to be a big flush, and I would not be surprised if we hit this level down here. This is around 37.70 on ES. On SPY, I believe that's around, let's bring it out, that's around 375 on SPY, and I think that level is it's a really strong shot. We're gonna hit that spot, and the reason is because on ES, if you do look, there is that huge triple bottom, and there's so many stops underneath this level, and it's no shock if you do read this action, this violent move to the downside. So this is just me reading price action. I think we have some legs downward, and if you go on the bigger time frame, let's say we go on the daily chart, as you can see, wicked it, guys. It looks perfect for a big flush. I wouldn't be surprised if we do get that big flush, and that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. If another big area that I think I see is up here, as you guys can see, this is on ES. Let me go on SPY just so I can show you guys. So the highs of 913 and the highs of 1213. Kind of weird that they're both 1 month apart, but as you guys can see, 913 right here, 1213 over here. These are the highs. I wouldn't be surprised, maybe a little bit lower, maybe right there. I would not be surprised if this level also we get a big flush under here, and maybe it just depends on how the market is going. This level eventually is obviously going to get blown through. Obviously, the markets always go higher over time, so we don't know how quick it will be, but eventually that level will be blown through. And I think when this level does get blown through, this gap will most likely be filled over here. As you guys can see, the 421 level, I think that's going to be a good spot for the gap to be filled if we do, once we do blow through this level. And I think this move to the downside was no coincidence. As you see, there was a gap right here that got filled. We went straight into it, and then we failed. Let me adjust the line just so you guys can see it a little bit better. But there was no coincidence that we just failed to the downside. We went right into it, we put the doji, then we failed it. We try to go again on it. We put this double bottom in, and then we failed it again, and then we just absolutely crashed under. And now we're heading, it looks like we might fill this gap to the downside 380. Obviously, that 375 level is going to be very key. And to me, there's really nothing holding it. If we do break beneath, let's say, if we do get below 375, there's nothing, I don't think there's much holding it for new lows. I think we will get that big leg down, and we'll see what happens into the end of the year. Obviously, if we do get that big leg down, that'll be around a 40% or 30% drawdown from highs, if I remember correctly. Let's see it again from right here. And there's multiple reasons I do think we're going to get this big drawdown, as you can see, at 30%. So that's a pretty solid drawdown, but also another big thing, let me put this on. The 9 and the 20, I talk about this all the time. If you guys watch my videos, you guys always know I always talk about this. The 9 and the 20, when they cross the downside, big moves follow. And as you can see, there's the cross right here. We were already talking about it. It looked like we were about to reclaim it, but then these big moves to the downside. Also the 200. So there's a few big factors on why we are moving lower. Also, if you look right here, we were trying to cross on the weekly, the 9 and the 20. If we would have crossed, that would have been pretty big, honestly. I think there would have been a big shot that we did get a big bounce, but we never did get that cross. Let me look at the monthly. So as you can see, we're just kind of looking at a bigger time frames running into the 9. So I think we do have more legs down. I wouldn't be surprised if we are able to get into that 340 level, this is more deeper, obviously a bigger trade. So that's kind of where my bias will be in these next couple months. Obviously things can change quickly. You always have to be adapting, but if you do look, this is what's happening. Also another big thing, the 9 and the 200. This is on the hourly chart. When these cross, big moves happen, as you can see. And a lot of these times when you get this cross immediately, as you can see, the next stage is huge follow through to the downside. So I wouldn't be surprised. Let me see if I get another example for you guys. This one right here crossed the downside. Next day, huge follow through to the downside. As you can see right here, crossed up. This one not as much, probably because we're more in a bear market. As you see right here, we get the cross the next day, huge downside. So this is kind of what I'm looking at, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Please follow me for more. Please share this. Please like it.